hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction. I'm missing a push.
Everyone, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Dolphins going up against the Seahawks. So let's get you up to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. On the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Evergreen State and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On second down, Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
Now Wilson looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill.
It got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Baldwin coming off his first Pro Bowl appearance. He had career highs, Charles, in catches with 94, over 1,100 yards. That also a career high. Pretty good season for Doug Baldwin.
And I think the place that he really started to take off was midway through 2015. The connection between he and his quarterback, Russell Wilson, where they were playing more from the pocket, bigger plays downfield, and that just propelled him into 2016. That, and anything he perceives as a slight, he uses it to his advantage, and he just goes out and plays.
Here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. To throw is Tannehill. His throw incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. And on your screen, the offensive starters, Jarvis Landry, a guy that we profile.
Love his game. Not only is he going to beat you with athleticism, he's going to outwork you as well. And look for him to hurt you also in the kick return game.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. Jordan Cameron is tight end, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up a fourth down. So on fourth down, the Dolphins will ask Matt Darr to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he? And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 61 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
As we get a look at the defensive starters, the secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end the season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just 1 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Back now with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Here's Tannehill, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. On 4th down, Tannehill. And it is incomplete. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No,
you know I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they had been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
It's complete to Lockett. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Donald Butler. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
This one caught. Jordan Cameron. They'll get 17 yards there. And the Dolphins are going to get a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I know that play didn't work very well, but an old New York Giants quarterback taught me a lesson a long time ago. Sometimes running the draw actually takes courage and play calling. You're actually setting something up for later in the game, and just because it was unsuccessful then doesn't mean it won't be successful later.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And Landry just snuck into the top 10 this year in receiving yardage, 1,136, finishing the year with 94 catches.
And what makes him super dangerous is his ability to convert from being a wide receiver to a running back after making the catch. Because I've talked with a number of defensive backs in the NFL, and all of them, independent of each other, say the exact same thing. Tackling him in the open field is difficult, and he leaves an impact when you do actually bring him down. And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They go play action here on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Devontae Parker, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he'll take this one up close to the 25.